So the reason why that we're doing Gold's Gym today is I just discovered that Gold's Gym in Venice. And for those of you who don't know, this was the mecca for many of the greatest bodybuilders back in the day, including Arnold. It was featured in the movie Pumping Iron. Some of you might have seen that show. Gold's was instrumental in pushing the entire bodybuilding scene forward. Anyway, Gold's Venice refused one of the greatest bodybuilders ever, a name that literally helped build the brand of Gold's. Name of the person, some of you may know him, Lee Priest. Anyway, they disallowed him access into the gym unless he and his wife paid an outrageous amount. I think it was $440 for a week for the privilege of working out in the gym that he literally helped to build the name of. Now, Lee Priest's picture is literally on the wall along with the other greats at the Venice Golds. And he pointed that out to the people at the front desk. They apparently just shrugged their shoulders and cited company policy. And we often discuss how businesses evolve here on the channel. And this is a prime case of how a gym grows from a privately owned labor of love, a business that cares, right into an unthinking, uncaring conglomerate. And we've covered that phenomenon with several of the major brands right here on YouTube. Now, if there was any doubt that the original heart and soul of Gold's Gym was dead, this Lee Priest situation really confirms it. And I guarantee you that corporate is soon going to see the absolute roasting they're getting from everyone online for their dumbassery. They're going to issue a full apology, send Lee back his money, and a coupon to work out for free anytime. Mr. Priest, this was an isolated incident and certainly does not reflect the values of Gold's Gym Corporate. So Gold's Gym has some splaining to do based on how they've treated clients in the past. This member of the military was deployed. Of course, they had to cancel their local membership. They went into the location to cancel. Membership was not canceled. Jesus of San Antonio was not a happy camper. Shanti of Henrick, Virginia states, even after submitting the documents, Gold's Gym continues to bill you, and she feels their tactics are inhuman. Paulette in North Carolina hired a trainer for 3 months, but was allegedly forced to pay at least $2,000 total. This Canadian reviewer claims after paying the entire annual fee, Gold's continued to withdraw money. And this is a common theme with Gold's based around money-grabbing policies. Here's one that suggests their bank advised them that Gold's tried to bill after the billing date and then charged a late fee. When they tried to contact Gold's, it was impossible to reach anyone, and that's another common theme. Here's another one, overcharged. Gold's agrees that they had been overcharged, but claims they waited too long, so no money for you. Management is poor and doesn't care. Contract signed, defaulted on a payment, sent to collections with an added 2 years on the bill. So triple the amount you pay or it goes on your report. Issue after issue, I could go on for days, but the point being Gold's has seemingly moved from its roots being the go-to gym for people who just love the sport of bodybuilding and is now this corporate behemoth that's putting money first and customers further down on that list. And we'd love to hear from Gold's Corporate. If they'd like to communicate their side of the story, we'll have it right here on the channel. We'll even do an interview. Gold started way back in 1965 when former bodybuilder and U.S. Marine Joe Gold opened the first location in Venice. It was really more of a place for he and his friends to train rather than a commercial enterprise. He charged $60 a year and kept costs down by building his own gym equipment. Now, at the time, there was some political pressure to move the weights off the beaches and into these clubs, and bodybuilding was basically frowned upon by the majority of the population. Now, as a bodybuilder himself, Joe Gold's Gym over the next few years became the place to go for anyone who was anyone in bodybuilding. It was as much a lifestyle as a business, but Joe Gold sold the gym in 1970 for the pittance of $50,000, and he became a merchant marine. The new owners ended up selling a couple of years later to Ken Sprague, who started bodybuilding contests. In 1973, Rick Drasin, he's got a channel right here on YouTube, check it out, lots of great content, designed a logo on the back of a napkin, and that logo with the bodybuilder and the barbell became the world-famous logo that we all know today. Now, at the time, Gold's was only for hardcore bodybuilders. In fact, an Iron Man magazine article stated, Gold's is a bodybuilder's gym. Here you won't find businessmen types who work out just to stay in shape. Most members are bodybuilders who work hard to gain bulk, density, and symmetry, and they work hard with minimum time for kibitzing or goofing off. But it wasn't until the movie Pumping Iron came out that the bodybuilding began to slowly achieve mainstream acceptance. Sprague sold the gym to new partners who throughout the 80s expanded the name and brand across the nation. By 1993, they had over 1 million members worldwide, and as some of you might remember, a host of major celebrities who pushed the brand name. In 2004, Gold's was sold to TRT Holdings for $150 million, and TRT still owns the brand rights today. Now, from an investment perspective, is owning a Gold's gym a good idea, and how much money could I make? Well, if you wanted to invest in a Gold's location, they're actually one of the most expensive gyms to buy. It's between $2.2 million to about $5 million total, and that's without a pool. If you want to put a pool in, it's going to cost you more. Now, those figures are taken from their 2018 FDD. And the average footprint for a Gold's, if you've ever been to one, it's about 35,000 square feet. So these are big gyms. Royalties, 5% of gross, ad fee 2%, co-op ad fee 3%. And I looked through the rest of the FDD, and Gold's does have what's called a liquidated damages clause, meaning that if your business goes under, you could be on the hook for a lot more money. Gross revenues have frankly been, for the most part, flatlining over the past few years. In 2014, average gross was $1.628 million for franchised units. 2017, it was $1.663. So not very impressive growth. Company-owned units were down. They were doing $2.6 million, down to $2.1 million in that same time period. Now, there's about 350 locations, apparently. 200 are owned by franchisees, and the rest are company-owned units. Now, here's the really troubling piece of data, the franchise location closures. And this is the net change. So the actual closures could be higher if they sold some units in the interim. Now, in 2015, they closed 31 locations. 2016, 12 locations closed. 2017, 43 Gold's Gym locations closed. And I couldn't find the most recent FDD, so I'm not sure how 2018 fared for them. And these reports are always, of course, 1 year behind as they bring the data together for the year. So is Gold's Gym a good investment? That's going to be your decision, but it would appear that the glory days of Gold's are over. Flatlining revenues, closing locations, and just in general being weenies. And I think Lee Priest himself would use the C word, but we'll stick with weenies for the sake of our viewers. And frankly, with $3 million investment, you could open between 5 to 10 gyms in another franchise system with arguably better market positioning and future growth potential. Now, if you need help finding and researching gym franchises, or any franchise for that matter, give the experts a call at Franchise City. We'll put a link right here to learn more about us. Lee Priest, the Franchise City Gym, always open, and we'll pay you $440 a week to work out. Special thanks to Dave Palumbo to RX Muscle for drawing our attention to this story. Thank you for watching.